Hey everyone, welcome back to my second video diary. Today we're actually going to be doing something different. I am accompanied by my love cat Spencer. Hi babe. And we're actually going to be looking at my art process. So you guys will be getting a break from my face. Even though I wasn't actually originally going to show my face, I just wanted a little intro. I did dye my hair a new color, if you notice. It's now peachy kind of strawberry blonde. I do that a lot. If you look at my old videos, I had red hair, then a kind of purple gray, and then a deeper purple. And then last video I had blonde hair. So we've been through a little journey. Anyway, so I absolutely love doing digital art, and I have an amazing program on my iPad called Procreate. It is definitely worth the money. It's on the App Store. And it records your drawing process for you automatically, and you can save it whenever you want. And I thought, oh my god, what better way to do a little voiceover and just explain what I'm doing. So if you guys want a little art tutorial, this is definitely going to be it. And I just thought it would be a great chill video idea. So thank you for watching. Alright, get ready to explain some art. I just want to apologize in advance if the video looks laggy. I had to slow it down a lot. So we're just going to start with the facial structure. I am using the brush Technical Pen in the inking pack in Procreate. It's already downloaded. You don't have to download anything. And I just think it looks really smooth. Anyway, we're going to start with one of the most important steps, I'd have to say, that is definitely the hair. It definitely frames the face. You're definitely doing an important part of the character design, I'd have to say. Now we either start sketching the torso, which is what I do here, but then I scrap it. Don't worry about that. Or the eyes, which is another very, very important thing for the character. They either make or break the face. Now we're just going to draw them right on that line that we did earlier, just so everything is proportionate. We're going to do one after the other. I think that's a really good trick to make sure they're symmetrical. You don't want to go off and start other things because your hand will remember the movements. It's easier to do them to mirror each other right after one another. Now, the nose and the mouth can do either order. Doesn't really matter. You just want to make sure they're proportionate to each other, they're proportionate to the face shape, they're proportionate to the eyes. The face really, really, really makes your character. That's something that I just want to ingrain in everybody. It's just something that I definitely have learned. The face changes everything. Now look what I just did there. I just erased some of the hair because you don't want too many lines on top of each other. That's mostly the reason why I use red in my sketches, so that when I am lining in black, I don't really get confused. You want to make sure those lines are clean, precise, nothing is all muddled, because in art, that will just make everything just change. It will be a different drawing. You want to make sure lines are very clean, especially if you're looking for that kind of look in line art. Now, again, we're doing some drawings with the torso, and that I scrape them a bunch, scrap them, and, I draw another one right now, and I don't really like it. I want to make sure that your torso and your body really flow with how your head looks and how you really want the character to convey the feeling that you really want them to show, which is very important. I think to have a good character flow with body movement is a very vital step, because if your character looks stiff, it just won't have the same quality of life that another drawing might have with better flow. Now, as I'm drawing a hand right now, hands are very, very difficult. The whole process is very hard. I think a lot of artists struggle with it. I definitely have struggled with it. Fingers are hard. Everything about it is hard. Sizing is hard. You don't want mouse hands. You don't want Bigfoot hands. You want that middle ground where the proportions are always correct. But when you're starting off, proportions will never be correct. So don't really worry about it. Just keep improving. Anyway, so I actually don't like that hand that I drew there later, so we're going to change that anyway, so don't pay that much attention. adding more details to the hair, I want to make sure the hair actually has some life to it, because in real life, hair kind of does have a life of its own. Now, again, with the flow of the character, you want to make sure that body movements are very important. So I change her hands and I make sure she's holding a flashlight. It gives more movement to the character, it gives more action to the character. It just adds more to the piece than if her hands were just flat on the ground. Now we're just sketching kind of what we want the background to look like, just adding some spooky eyes. This is a ghost hunter girl, if I didn't mention that before. I just think that even if we don't use those eyes, I think it's very good to have the mood of your drawing in the sketch, even if it's very lazy. On the opposite side of that, with line art, I usually start with the face, the most important features of the face. And what we're going to do is make sure that you clean up things that you were lazy with in the sketch. Give them the detail that you didn't before. I usually take my time with this. It's a very important part of the art process, and I think that everyone should take their time with it. It really is the base of your drawing. Now, one thing that I do not suggest is drawing something plainly in line art like I just did with those goggles on her head. You could definitely mess things up. I'd rather do it in sketching, because then you don't mess your clean line art up. You want everything to be precise, it's detailed, it's very important. Anyway, we're just finishing up those details on her body, making sure everything is precise, and we're going to take that sketch away, because this is, I'm going to say it again, the base of your drawing. You may add color to it, whatever. It really is what makes your drawing. It's the base of it, basically. I just said that 4 times, but it really is. I can't stress that enough. If your line art isn't clean, or it's jagged, or it doesn't look good, or something is wonky, when you take away that sketch, it will look awful. I have learned from personal experience. Now, with the hair, I usually start drawing the facial features colored first, like I do with the line art. I didn't know what color I wanted to do. I ended up with this reddish brown. Again, I am taking my time coloring. These are just the base colors though, so you can do it very quickly. Just make sure it's in the lines like a coloring book. Not that hard. Now, the next thing that we're going to do is actually add some line lowlights and highlights, so she actually looks like she has strands of hair. And then we're going to add some strands around her face and around the edges of her hair, just so like it kind of gives it a life of its own again, because actually hair does have a life of its own. I added some glow to her goggles there, and a light to her flashlight, and I added a decal to her shirt in a different layer. Those were all on a different layer. You want to make sure that they're there, because if you don't have it on a different layer and you want to erase, it'll erase your other work. Now we're adding the flannel to her shirt, and we're going to add that on a different layer as well. And you also want to turn the opacity down so that it's not very bright, because flannels aren't that bright. Adding skin on another layer as well. And we're going to darken it and then add some details around the eyes, the ears, and just some shadows and lowlights. Taking the sketch back, adding another layer for the eyes for the background. Now, these are just a base color. We're going to add some more to them later, but they can be very, very simple. They're just a background kind of detail that is very important, but you don't have to work that hard on them. Now adding some shadows to her character to give them more oomph, more action, more livelihood, I really think. Now, I really wanted to do something glowy, more of like a ghost forest kind of thing. And then I added these glow trees with an airbrushing pen. I added some more details, and then I turned on the opacity so they're not the only thing in focus. But you see how I just added those details so they're not just lines. Now I'm going to be adding some lines for the background so the trees don't look so standoffish. They don't look alone. They blend more into the background. And now, with a brush pen, I'm going to add some highlights to her hair. Again, hair has a lot of life. It has a lot of detail, and I think I really added it very well. Now we're gonna fix some of that flashlight light, make it brighter, make sure it really shows contrast to the black background. Now I think we're adding a ghost face to her shirt now, and some white tattoos to her arms. I have a little moon tattoo and a little cat tattoo. And I really like adding white tattoos because they really pop along with the black line art. Now, I think that's all the details for today, but thank you for listening, and this has been really my art process at the moment, so thank you. Hi, thank you for watching this video. It feels really good to share something that I'm so passionate about, and also just do it in a really fun, chill way that's just super fun. So thank you. If you liked it, that's just really amazing. I work really hard on this stuff, and just making these videos has been making me feel better. It's been giving me something to do. So if you support me, that's just amazing, even though I might be a little cringy. It just means a lot. So thank you for watching this, and stay in tune for the next one.